Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. You know, sometimes if you sit ringside, maybe at a small hall show or a leisure centre show, and you got two heavyweights who are low level, or maybe they're novices, you know, it can be a lot of fun because two big geezers just railing at each other it's a lot of fun to watch. And one of those fights was on the Sky Sports Boxer card tonight. It took place between Steve Robinson and Nick Campbell. And Robinson from the northeast, from Newcastle, he came in with a 5-1 record. He lost to a guy who had a 0-1 record, Shane Gill. That was, I think, February this year. Then he had a little run around against the journeyman Phil Williams, won that on 4 rounds. And he stopped Nick Gill of Glasgow in the 4th round tonight. Nick Gill came in undefeated. He was 5-0, and he had 5 knockouts. So, you know, Nick Gill, I suppose you could say he was, prospect's the wrong word because he's 33. And in fact, Robinson himself was 32. But Gill was on a bit of a tear. You know, he had 5 wins against, you know, the usual suspects. He did have quite a good win against Jay McFarlane when he won the Scottish area heavyweight title. And that was back in February as well, when Robinson lost his unbeaten record. So they were evenly matched. And when you get 2 evenly matched guys, even if they're lower level, even if they're in that novice phase or beginner phase, whatever you want to call it, then yeah, you can have a lot of fun watching it. And this was fun. Because although Robinson won this fight, it didn't look like he was going to win it for the first 3 rounds. They both came out. They're both 6'7". I mean, two big geezers. They both came out. Neither of them seemed to have a great defence. And I remember thinking, I can't remember whether it was at the start of the 2nd round or the end of the 1st. I remember thinking, the person that wins this is going to be the one with a better chin. And that's how it turned out, because Robinson was taking some shots. And I think the one with the better skills, the better schooled fighter, looked like Nick Campbell. He was landing the right hand at will. Robinson just couldn't get out of the way of it. Robinson was shaken a few times. Not badly, I wouldn't say badly, but the warning signs were there. I mean, the way that Campbell was landing the right was, you know, it looked like the writing was on the wall. And then in the 4th round, out of the blue, comes this enormous, I think it was it actually led with that. Yeah, Robinson led with a right uppercut and then threw a left hook, and it was bang on the jaw, on Nick Campbell's jaw. Down goes Campbell on his backside, gets up, doesn't look badly shaken, but he looks like, you know, he's a little bit startled, like what happened there? And clearly not showing the jaw that Robinson had previously shown over the last 3 rounds. Robinson goes after him and then puts him over again for a 2nd time in Campbell's corner. Again, left hook, same punch. Likes the left hook, does Steve Robinson. And then he tore after him. This time, I think after the 2nd knockdown, Campbell did look not out of it, but wobbling. His legs weren't steady. And he still couldn't, he was, I wouldn't say he froze, but he was clearly facing great adversity, the sort of situation he'd never been in before, and he didn't look like he really knew what to do. Those were the first 2 knockdowns of Campbell's career. And Campbell, as I say, had come in with 5 wins, no defeats, and 5 KOs. And apart from the McFarlane win, which was in the 7th, all the others were in 3 rounds or less. This was an 8-rounder, by the way. It didn't ever look like it was going to go 8 rounds. So he didn't really know what to do. The corner actually were threatening to throw the towel in. I think the cornerman stood on the ring apron with the towel, let it go on. But then right at the end of the 4th round, Robinson lands, you guessed it, a left hook, and it punches Campbell back into the ropes, and the referee steps in and stops the fight. I think there were 3 seconds of the round left. So this was a lot of fun. But these are 2 guys, at least one of them, I want to say both of them, were former rugby players. And they kind of looked like it, because they were really big guys, big, strong guys, they were both in shape, good shape, tall, long dimensions, both a bit stiff. Again, I think Campbell had the better skills. Robinson's clearly got the better jaw. And maybe that defeat that Robinson had, you know, it was a 6-round points defeat to Shane Gill, who who is still 1-1. He hasn't fought since beating Robinson. Maybe that focused his mind, and because prior to that, the quality of his opposition had been absolutely awful. For Steve Robinson, you know, he's fought 3 times on Sky Sports. I think he's signed a boxer. I want to say he is, but he's a lot of fun to watch. He's defensively, he's very, very poor. Looks like an amateur. Looks like a guy who started boxing very late. Not an amateur, but a novice pro. Looks like, yeah, he's not going to tear up any trees. He might win an area title. Oddly enough, the one that I would say showed a bit more in terms of probably probably ability to progress is Nick Campbell, but he's got to shore up his defence as well. He had the better skills, slightly slicker, slightly more, he looked a little bit better schooled, but sometimes it comes down to who wants it the most, and who's got the better chin. And on this occasion, that was Steve Robinson. So this was a lot of fun, and both guys, you know, credit to them, they gave us a nice little aperitif for the main event. And yeah, hopefully we'll see them back. Those heavyweights, they're a lot of fun, even at lower levels. But also I think Campbell's still got the Scottish title. So, you know, I mean, a rematch with Jay McFarlane wouldn't be a bad idea. And in that fight, McFarlane, he was over in the 7th round, but prior to that, he'd taken a ton of punishment, a horrendous amount of punishment. But if he gets himself in shape, which isn't a given because he always turns up out of shape, if he gets himself in shape, a rematch with Nick Campbell wouldn't be a bad little watch. Anyway, did you see it? If you've got any thoughts, leave them below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Like the video if you liked it. And of course, we've got more boxing to come tonight. Until then, take care of yourselves. We'll speak again soon. Bye for now.